Hello and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It? Podcast. I'm your host, GB. Yes, as The Rock said to Big Show many years ago, somebody got a haircut. All gone. Ignore my skin, it's not great. But it's something that's people just going to notice immediately with, now I look like a fucking peanut, but there you go. If you see my Twitter, you know why I've got it. So it's not quite the hair. It kind of fades in, but
You can see it. You can see it.
Yeah, I do
It's
miss my hair
definitely
already.
there.
It just shows off my head already, like how big it is. But awesome. So we got that out of the way. Good. Today's guest is actually not old enough to have a beer in England, but he's a professional wrestler and has a bright future ahead of him. He's that dog. Please give up for PADRAIG QUINLAN. How you doing today, mate? You all good?
I'm solid, yeah. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Awesome, mate. Awesome. Yeah, I'm good. We had a little chat. Doing pretty well. 2 more days left. Then we've got the weekend, and obviously England playing on Friday. Who you rooting for, by the way, in the World Cup?
See, up until was it today or yesterday? Today. Up until today, I would have said Germany. I know that's a villainous choice, but being
Yeah.
Irish, I just don't want to see England do well.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. That's fair.
But I don't know. I think it feels like it's Spain
who
right
have
now.
Ireland got in the World Cup?
They're not in it.
Are they not? Oh,
I'm pretty sure
sorry, you took the bait then.
the last competition we qualified for might have been Euro 2016.
Yeah.
And I don't think in my lifetime we've ever qualified for a World Cup.
Oh yeah,
it's sad.
I'm
it's sad being an Ireland fan.
Jesus, mate. No, fair play, fair play. You'll bounce back. I'm sure you will.
God, I hope so.
It might be another lifetime, but
we've got a golden generation right now, but it's all keepers. We've got two of the best young keepers on the planet, and then we've got Nathan Collins, who's a good centre back, and Troy Parrott. But past that,
you need strikers, midfielders,
we need all of it.
You need a team, mate. You need a team. But some countries have individuals. I mean, Japan shut the fuck out of me today. Beating, obviously, I'm doing so bad in my World Cup predictor. And Japan beating Germany, Argentina yesterday, Saudi Arabia. And we had loads of 0-0 draws as well. I'm not happy with the location, but it's, we can't be, it's done now. We're there.
Yeah.
But in terms of predictability,
it's insane already.
Yeah. And there's some questionable decisions, but I can't say I'm bored of it. I'm enjoying some of it so far.
I wasn't going into it. I wasn't excited, but
same.
As the days are going on, it's getting a bit hot.
But one last question to ask.
Yeah.
Is it coming home?
No.
That's hard, man.
I'd be surprised if England make it to the
quarters. That's going to be your
honest.
automatic answer, which is fair enough. But I can't wait. This is the last podcast I'm doing before the game, so I can't wait for it. So, you'll see my reaction. I think if I can lose to USA, I'll be crying. But we'll find out next week. And if you stay up to date on my social media, you'll be able to see who I've got lined up for that episode. So, awesome. So, Pud, let's get to know you. So we can start off this episode by not talking about football because we've just got that out of the way. Prince or Michael Jackson?
What? Sorry, Prince or Michael Jackson?
Yep. I'm just going off your tweets. Me. So instead of going, what got interesting, we will get into wrestling, but let's mix this up.
See, that's really hard for me. Obviously, Michael Jackson not a good dude, but music-wise,
technically, he was found not guilty.
Yeah, it's up in the air. Allegedly, not a good dude. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna say.
I don't think there's
Prince
a wrong answer.
Overall. I'm gonna say Prince was the better musician, but I think I don't know.
Michael was more iconic. You just can't change that. He's
influence on music. It's Michael.
Yeah, I love them both personally, but I say Michael. But I do like Prince as well. Like Purple Rain,
1999.
But he did some bangers as well. But Michael Jackson, But also, why does risotto suck?
Risotto is my least favorite food.
But why? Why?
I don't see any redeeming qualities. It's like warm, savory rice pudding, and I hate rice pudding anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a big
There's
fan of rice pudding. Not a big fan of rice pudding.
people have always told me like, oh no, it's really nice when you get it in a restaurant. Why would I get it in a restaurant? I actively know I don't enjoy it when it's not in a restaurant. I'm not taking that risk. But risotto, it's just one of them where like if it's put in front of me, I will actively refuse it. And it's I think the only food that I would genuinely just say not having that. It's got the
Fair.
consistency of vomit. Sorry, you've set me off.
It goes on. 5 hours later. Wow, I've never actually met or talked to someone that actually hates it as much as you. So
It's the
fair play,
worst.
Pud.
It's
Fair play, man.
honestly, I'd, oh my God, I hate it so much.
Okay, fair enough. And your favorite karaoke song?
See, if I knew that my tweet would have like come into play, I would have thought about this. Off the top of my head, I know a banging rendition of "Touch the Sky" by Kanye West.
Give me some now. Come on, go on. Hold on. Right. If I put some of it right on now on a karaoke version, I want you to give me like the beginning of it. Hold on, this is
Oh
the
my
first
God.
on the show. By the way, we're not endorsing Kanye West's comments that he's made this year, but as
No,
a
no,
musician, absolutely love
bad
him.
person, but
One of the best gigs I've ever been
like
to, easily.
bangers. You've been to a Kanye West gig?
Yep, just when he lost his mum,
Oh
and
my,
he did
oof.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing, which is my karaoke song, by the way. He actually did a tribute to his mum, and it was so good.
That's
2009,
like so. That was like My Beautiful
I
Dark
think
Twisted
it was.
Fantasy was like come. Oh, so it was just before
2009. I
Beautiful
can't
Dark
remember
Twisted
when his
Fantasy.
mum died. It was Graduation's out and 808s, 808s and Heartbreak.
That's my favorite of his albums, to be fair.
I love the Roadblock song on it. Right, I've got karaoke. Right, I want you like just 30 seconds. Okay, not Kellogg's All.
Okay.
YouTube adverts. I'm recording as well. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Instrumental break. 3, 2, 1.
I
Come
can't
on.
hear it. I can't hear
Can you not hear it?
it. No.
Ah, fuck. I'll let you off then. I'll let you off the hook.
All
Okay.
right. I'll.
When you're next out, which might be another 2 years because you know your age,
Mm.
I want you to record yourself singing that song and tag me in it if I'm still in the podcast game.
I will. I will. I'll promise you. Even if it's a case of like I get bored tomorrow and I just record myself singing it,
I did it. I
you
did
will.
it.
You will hear me singing
I'll
"Touch
be
the
like,
Sky."
I don't care, mate. The episode's out now. No, I'm kidding, mate. I'm kidding. Do it for the listeners and just for my enjoyment as well. Awesome. One
What's
last
that?
question before we do get into
Yeah.
the instant pud. What is your favorite type of pudding? I know. Gotta ask.
My favorite type of pudding
Mm-hmm.
because of my name. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
tiramisu.
What one?
Tiramisu.
Not had that.
It's well, you know what it is though, don't you?
No.
So
Explain to me.
it's like I think they're called lady fingers. They're like them like sort of long cakes. Um, then they're coated in coffee, and then cream like over that, and
That
then
doesn't
like a
sound nice.
chocolate powder. It's
Mm-mm.
banging. It is banging.
I don't know why I expect like black pudding or something. I love black pudding. Oh, on a like English
That's
breakfast.
not a pudding.
It fucking is. Now we're full now, mate. It counts, mate. White pudding
You're gonna
counts as
die on
well.
that hill.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's my fucking podcast.
Least favorite's rice pudding, obviously.
Oh god, rice pudding got fucking bit in the bin, mate. Cool. So we had debates about rice pudding, a failed Kanye West karaoke, and a debate about Prince and Michael Jackson.
I
Great
can't
start
remember
to the
the
show.
first line of "Touch the Sky."
I know you remember now. How does it go? I'm not gonna play it. Don't worry.
If you get up the
It's
lyrics and just say the
it's.
first
I
line,
gotta
I could.
testify. Come up in the spot. Look at
Yeah,
extra
an
fly.
extra fly for
For
the
the day
day
I
I
die,
die.
I'ma
Gonna
touch
go and
the
touch the
sky.
sky.
People.
Back when they thought pink polos would hurt the rock before Cam got the shit to pop, the doors was closed. I felt like Bad Boys Street Team. I couldn't work the locks. Now let's go. Take 'em back to the plan. Me and my mama hop in the U-Haul van. Any pessimists, I ain't talk to them. Plus, I ain't have no phone in my apartment. Let's take 'em back to the club. At least about an hour I stand online. I just wanted to dance. I went to Jacob an hour after I got my advance. I just wanted to shine. Jay's favorite line, dog in due time. Now he look at me like, damn dog, you what I am. A hip hop legend. I think I died in the accident because this must be heaven.
Da-da. Excellent. Excellent, Pud.
There we go.
Fantastic, mate. Great episode. I suppose we've got to talk about wrestling as well now.
Yeah,
So
but
I know, right? I know. It's based on wrestling this podcast, but we've got the All Valley Under 23 tournament this week. It is this week, isn't it? Awesome.
It's this Sunday.
This Sunday. Awesome. So around the corner. One, you're looking forward to it, and two, who is your competition?
So obviously it's 2 blocks of the 8 competitors in it. Unfortunately, I'm not in a match with my brother, which would have been ideal.
Oh, I know, man. I saw he was on it as well.
I am in a match with Senna from Future Shock. Really athletic, super annoyingly talented. Just, I kind of resent him because of how good he is, but I'm not getting into that. Then George Lydon, who's I believe he's had a match with Chris Ridgway, and I was literally training with Chris Ridgway yesterday.
Really?
So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, he was.
That's sick, man.
I honestly, it was such a good session. I like him a lot. Almost missed the train home. That was.
Oh yeah,
it
but
was
it probably
the
would have been
last
worth
train.
it, like, just to train with Chris Ridgway.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good. Charlie Brennan, who is, I mean, the Island faithful love him. He's just coming off really hot feud with VGS, so it's probably, I mean, gods were the wrestling
I will
gods
get
were
on to
on the ball,
VGS
stopping him.
in a bit. That way,
we could see a Christy versus Charlie final. Could see a Christy versus me final. Could see me versus Ethan Kelly. Could see. There's so many great combinations, and I think both of the matches are gonna they're gonna be really, really good. I'm gonna back myself, obviously.
Yeah, man, I'm a bit confident.
Pretend
it's like Kanye West, Captain Sky karaoke. Going into it.
I've been debating coming out to it. None of the other competitors have got that dog in them. Like they might have like karate experience in Senna's case. Might have like a lot.
You might have
of
a black
years
belt,
of
but have
being
you got
on
that dog
shows.
in you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question you've got to ask. Does a black belt instantly grant you that dog? No. Does that dog instantly grant you a black belt? Kinda, in a way.
Awesome. But now you got some competition then. That's good.
Yeah.
I've seen like you're training as well for it. Inspired obviously by Karate Kid and Cobra Kai and all that best fucking TV series out on Netflix, by the way.
So good.
Love it.
Like, I mean, I like it most when it's about the karate. I don't really care about the kids, but when the karate is on,
I love it all. See, I like grew up, even though like it was still before my time. I still watched it as a kid, Karate Kid, and how they like mesh it in and blend it in, like brilliant show.
It's very well done, and it's nice that they got like Ralph Macchio and William Zabka back, which was great.
Yeah, man.
I've always backed William Zabka. I don't know why.
He just
I've always just sort of
always reminded me of like Owen Hart, like.
Yeah, he does. He looks a lot like Owen Hart. Maybe
it's like that sort of like punk, you know, when Owen Hart was a heel and stuff. And I just like, oh, he's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, how can I not?
I mean, especially now he's a good guy. Like,
yeah.
But even when I first watched the original like Karate Kid, first of all, and whenever I watch like any movie from that period, I always get like an insane urge to just go to the gym.
It's just like start picking on people, just like come on.
Yeah, just like any montage or any like training, any sports from that era, like any like
mate, what is your favorite montage in a film then?
No, I haven't watched all of Rocky. It's something that it pains me to say. I've literally watched the first 2/3 of the.
I'll let you off because you are still quite, you know.
Yeah, I'll get round to it. I'll get round to it. But I have watched like the latter quarter of Rocky 4. That Rocky 4 training montage where like
him and Ivan Drago, like Rocky's on the
Ivan
mountains.
Drago's like taking steroids and Rocky is like benching his misses. It's insane.
It's brilliant. Drago, it's
so good. And that
brilliant.
fight.
Oh mate, I think it's one of the best fights of the entire series.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky invented that dog.
Mm.
That's
So
that's
Rocky's the inspiration for that dog.
not personally, but for the entire, I feel like Rocky was the first to have that dog in him. Other than maybe like I don't know, Abraham Lincoln was kind of cool, I guess. Um,
You're so random.
I don't know much about Abraham Lincoln, but I guess he was cool. He was a decent president. I think I would assume. Um, but like that fight,
Yeah.
I was watching it with Christy and our mum, and he pointed out that for some reason that fight makes you feel patriotic
It
for
does.
America.
Like even like not even like none of us America. I'm like,
I
"Yeah,
know. I'm just
America.
like, and then they start cheering for him over
Mm.
Drago. Oh, man,
He's doing it for America. He's doing it for
yeah,
revenge for Apollo Creed. He's just like, yeah, land of brave, home of the freedom,
so
whatever.
good.
It's the other way around, but you know what I mean. Like, backwards. I'll get some America in the comments. Douchebag. Abraham Lincoln, you funny fucker. Awesome. So let's actually rewind the clocks a little bit, and let's find out what got you into wrestling. I mean, because your age, I assume was it like last week or something?
So growing up, we had this ladder match DVD.
Mm-hmm.
It had Triple H with his handlebar mustache and his orange jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it was both of the Edge and Christian versus Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys
Mm-hmm. How the TLC
TLC
matches.
matches.
Yeah.
Both of the SummerSlam 2001 and then the Mania one. Both of them are the reason I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest stuff ever. So used to watch it all the time growing up with like Christy and our
Mm-hmm.
other brother. Um,
Friend of the show, shout out to Christy.
yeah, shout out. He's a bell end, but shout out. Um, but yeah,
When I get
so
VGS back on as a stable, by the way, he's going to be in there. So I really, really hope he has some kind words to say about you.
I mean I love him, and I've trained with him. I've trained with him for the past 6 years and grew up with him for the past 16.
Yeah.
Uh,
But he's a bellend, as you say.
he's he's one of the best wrestlers I've watched and worked with, but
Yeah.
massive bellend.
He probably take great pride in that, no, like knowing how he is. I can't believe you said that
Anyway,
about me.
anyway, yeah. So we used to watch it all the time, like us
Mm-hmm.
three. One of like so like we grew up on the John Cena versus the Miz feud,
Yeah.
John Cena versus CM Punk, all like this, mostly John Cena, and then like so for Christie's 30th birthday,
Mm-hmm.
he just went to wrestling training,
Yeah.
and then the week after, which was the day before his actual birthday, I came with him because I mean I was 10 at the time and I loved wrestling. Um, and then from that day, literally in the 3.5 years that I was like going to that school,
Mm-hmm.
um, I missed one session, but even because it was for like a school like musical rehearsal thing, I regret it. I should have wrestled, but um, so I missed that one session,
Yeah.
and then I got the bus up after and watched all the adults train anyway.
So
I
you have
literally
actually been wrestling for 6 years.
for 6 years, yeah. So
Because that's not bollocks. Fucking hell, better
no, I
face you,
started
mate.
when I was 10.
Yeah.
Then up until lockdown, I trained every single Saturday,
Mm.
and then after lockdown, had to wait because of like a lot of training schools changed their policies so that only
Yeah.
16s and over could train,
Yeah.
which was gutting. But like then when I could train, I just got on it, got on the ball, like worked
Mm.
really, really hard for it. And I've been
And like
training
you've been on
jujitsu
like
for
been multiple shows now already. Like that's
yeah,
frightening, but it's I mean it's a compliment, absolutely. But that is,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think there's some
It's
wrestlers out there when they get too late, they would what they would give to do what you did. wrestle at 10 to be active on
I
shows.
I I have dodgy knees and a dodgy back, but I have no regrets. So like
Fair
it's
play.
just starting
It's love,
wrestling
isn't it?
training
Love
is
for
the
the
best
sport.
thing I've ever done. It's yeah, it is like I mean I've lived and breathed wrestling for my whole life, so
Mm.
it's nice to be able to do it.
No, that's good, man. That's
Actually,
good.
side note on the schools having to change it so only 16s could train there.
Hmm.
Future Shock, which is like obviously I train at the Wrestle Island Temple and
Hmm.
Future Shock, both great schools. If anyone's listening to this now and they want somewhere to train, I can't recommend those two enough.
Mm.
Um, but Sam Bailey at my first Future Shock session, like I was speaking to him after, and he literally apologized for me not being able to train there. So that was just like I had such a class from him. Really,
Yeah,
I
man. Didn't
really
have to.
respected that. That was no, not at all. It was really great to like hear.
Yeah, no, I respect that, man. When you did
Yeah.
train at such a young age, how was it when you would train now? So, like, what are some of the big differences? Like, training as a child to, well, I know you're still a teenager, but someone that is a mature teenager and has the experience now when you didn't have it. So, how would they sort of mentor you and guide you?
Um, honestly, huge props to Matt Fox.
Hmm.
He's been the biggest part of my wrestling journey, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like training wise, he trained me for so long, and all of his lessons have stuck with me. He
Hmm.
never undermined me as like a child. He never treated me
Yeah.
like I was anything different from a trainee, despite
Yeah.
being like 10.
Yeah. That'll definitely help you
So
grow as a performer and
yeah,
even
yeah,
as
yeah.
a.
And I mean, it taught like respect.
Mm.
The fact that he respected me, and it instilled a level of me respecting my coaches from that.
Hmm.
He so like training at that point, the only real difference was the fact that the ropes were way higher on me,
Oh, yeah.
and now sometimes some people might notice it. I think I'm just about getting out of it, but
Yeah.
because of the ropes being so high, and I'd only shot up and
Never, I
walked down
never
like
thought that would have been a problem, but yeah, no, it
it's
seemed quite
so
obvious. Yeah.
I had to hit the ropes on my tiptoes. So I learned how to
Oh,
run the ropes on my tiptoes. And for the first few months of coming back to training,
yeah.
I still did it. So sometimes it just sort of comes out whenever I'm wrestling. So if anyone's ever watching a match and they see me run the ropes weird, that's my
Oh,
explanation.
fair enough. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that then.
Yeah, it's but as far as like how I've been taught
Hmm.
now, I mean, I did adult training when I was like 13
Yeah.
because I'd been doing it so long that it was a case of like, well, you know, he's at that size now where he can do adult training, and
Yeah.
I did. Um, so I've never really had to struggle with like being spoke down to or the sessions being like patronizing or anything
Yeah.
because all of my coaches in like Matt Fox, Rabid Riley, Harry McKenny had a part in coaching me at one point. Um, they've all treated me like I was a wrestler rather than a
Mm.
child, which is that's the main thing that really helped me stick with it was just
Mm.
not being
Without sort of
like a
like
kids footy team,
patronizing you or
Yeah, it's
sugarcoating it and stuff. Probably
it
made you
was
learn
it was
better.
just it was just really nice to see, and it was very much appreciated, and it's something I
Yeah.
still appreciate now.
No, I can tell you do appreciate it, man. That's pretty sick though.
Mm.
BGS, the Violent Gentlemen's Society. I've had a few on the show. I've got another one coming on, KC Payne. I know you are familiar with them, but I want you
Yeah.
to tell me about them from someone that has wrestled them. What is it about them that, for me personally, makes them like kind of one of the best stables in the UK?
You know how people call Virgil van Dijk a mentality, like we are Liverpool and mentality giants, and
Yeah,
Virgil van Dijk has that
I mean he
presence
has lost a
about
lot of
him.
the aura this year. Just like people
Yeah,
just trying to find out,
but
but I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Prime Verge, people like he actually wasn't that great at 1v1s. He is, but it was a presence of
Hmm.
attackers didn't want to run straight at him
Yeah.
because you'd be scared to. Um, that's how I see VGS. It's free. big scary dudes who can wrestle rings around everyone else on the scene and can like just dominate a show.
Hmm.
Um, so I think when people get in the ring against them, I mean, I have a lot of respect for other people who've wrestled them
Hmm. Including
because
yourself.
it's quite it's quite scary.
Yeah, I can imagine being
Um,
quite intimidating, especially when one of them is a sibling.
yeah, I mean the match at Infamous, 8th of October. I'm pretty sure the show should be out on YouTube soon if anyone's watching
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
wanting to watch it.
So I know you did like a talk with Chris Lappin. Shout out to him as well. Friend
Yeah,
of mine, just a general good guy. But I know you talked about
great
it
guy, love him.
upcoming. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Uh, yeah, it's so at the start of the match. I mean, me and Christy were in the ring opposite each other, and for like a brief moment, it was as if we weren't wrestling each other. We
Hmm.
got into the middle of the ring. He sort of chewed me out like a brother would
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah. You
for
wouldn't expect
going
anything
against
less, though,
him.
would you?
We dapped up
Yeah.
and then started the match. It was so like VGS have what I saw that in that match. There's a switch in them
Hmm.
that you can switch on, where Christy went from my brother to my opponent,
Hmm. Stranger.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't something I was expecting.
Yeah.
Um, it's something I imagine I'm gonna see from him again in the All Valley. I'd assume the rest of VGS won't be around him.
Hmm.
I assume it's the first time he's going to have to go into something alone.
Yeah.
And if I were in his match, I personally would be shitting myself.
Fair play, man.
So
Fair play.
VGS, great workers, great hands to have on any show. But scary, scary man is that's how I'll summarize that.
Like I said, I've enjoyed speaking to them. I enjoy their work, and I can't wait to have
Yeah.
them all as a group. But I wanted to get someone that's actually been in the ring with them as an opponent, as
Mm,
opposed to being, in VGS as well. So that's a
yeah.
good take. I appreciate that. One last question, but normally I ask three dream dinner party guests. I'm not going to ask that. I'm going to ask
Okay.
SENDPUD, relating to Pud.
Yeah.
If we was to send Pud to three locations, he can wrestle him in the world wherever he wants to. What three locations would Pud pick and why?
Now, is this country based or like specifics?
I'll let you choose. Up to you.
Um,
You're the pilot.
Karakan Hall. Karakan Hall is the first one
Hmm.
in Japan. A lot of my favorite wrestlers have wrestled there. I love Japanese wrestling. I love
Yeah.
King's Road style. Um, that's a huge one for me. Is if I one day make it to Japan, that's like life complete.
Yeah.
I can die
That is one
happy.
of those let me try again. That is one of those destinations that not many wrestlers can achieve that. But I think,
Yeah,
if you're
I think it
determined to
takes
go
a
there.
special. Thank you. It takes a special
Hmm.
breed to make it there,
Yeah.
and
They are very
I mean
picky
that's
with
shown with
who they
the
let on.
caliber of people who've come out of like Japanese
Hmm.
dojos and like promotions. It's
Japan is number one. But yeah, no, Japan's special. I
Japan's
mean, I'm not
huge.
really into it as much anymore, but I had a period I was just obsessed with New Japan.
Mm. I don't know if you've gone back and watched like late 80s, early 90s All Japan, but that's like one of
Uh,
my favorites.
I could be wrong with is that with Dynamite and Tiger Mask? Or was that was New Japan, wasn't it?
That's so Tiger Mask 2, so Mizawa,
Yeah.
just in a mask.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like four pillars of All Japan. That's that era.
Hmm.
Um, I've shouted this out on both the podcasts now, on this and Broken but Glorious, but watch Joseph Monticello's
What's who?
Walk of the Kings. Joseph Monticello. Um, he's at Joseph Weirdness on Twitter. I don't know why I'm shouting him out, but his sort of series on Walking the King's Road got me into Japanese wrestling, and it's such a good like video essay series.
Wicked. I made a note. I made a note. Yeah.
Um,
Second location. Where would we send
Second
Pud?
location is Ireland, just anywhere. Specifically probably County Cork, because that's where all of my family history originates from.
Yeah.
Obviously, as like a lot of people can tell, I've got a lot of patriotism
Hmm.
towards Ireland. I mean, I was born in Liverpool,
Yeah.
but with all of my family history coming from Ireland and all of like the
Does that explain your last name as well?
Quinlan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so that's that, and then Padraig is
Mm.
quite a common name there, really. It's just like Patrick, and it's the original Gaelic version of Patrick.
Oh, cool. Didn't
Means
know that.
noble.
That's a little bit of backstory to that, mate. That's quite cool.
Yeah, it means noble, which is
Hmm.
fun. I've always wanted to work that into a promo. um, so Ireland is a huge one that I'd love to wrestle there.
Hmm.
I mean, I couldn't really go spouting the hometown hero shit because I'm not from there, but it
I
is
love you
like
guys.
my city, my people, my heart. uh, but that's just huge. I'd love to wrestle in
Mm.
Ireland. Um, yeah,
And the
third
last
location's
location.
way harder. The last location's way harder.
Mm.
Um,
So I bet it's gonna be random, like just like you mentioned, like Abraham Lincoln earlier. Just I think.
it's got to be America. It's like I think AEW, all things considered, have been promotion of the year regardless, just with the amount of bangers they've put out. Stardom also deserves a shout. I love Joshi wrestling. Um,
I've never
but
watched Adam. No,
you
not
should,
one
you
match.
really should.
Yeah,
Polish Barry got me into it.
he
Like
seems like a funny fucker. Post Barry.
he's hilarious. I love like I love being on like backstage with him. I love
Yeah.
being in the ring with him.
Mm.
It's just great.
It looks like a cool guy though.
Oh, he's a good worker and he's
Mm.
a nice guy. So he's definitely like I'd love to wrestle him singles one day. But yeah, so he got me into like Stardom and
Yeah.
some of the things Joshi wrestlers can do. I don't know how. It's like I mean, Io Shirai obviously came from like Japan
Mm.
Stardom.
I miss her in WWE a little bit.
Yeah, uh, she she's got the best moonsault of all time.
Mm.
That's my personal opinion. Obviously, I love moonsaults.
No,
One of my
I'm
favorite
thinking
like
of ignore me.
moves.
Sorry, I'm thinking of
You
Kairi Sane.
Kyrie saying,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
Oh yeah, sure, right.
she's got
Moonsault. Yeah, Moonsault's
she's got the
gorgeous.
best. She's
Oh,
got the best elbow drop of all time. Kyrie saying that's a big thing to say because Macho Man, but I've I might call it
well,
recency
like I
bias.
think
But
technically you're not wrong, but I think you
no,
would still piss off some people with that comment. I think technically you're probably right, but in terms of iconic and just like how it's finished
I
matches, no, I
I
just
absolutely expect to get flamed for that one.
yeah,
But
the SENDPUD. Yeah,
that was a solid impression.
yeah, thank you. I get lonely nights, so I practice. So, but yeah,
All right, so I understand.
no, that's cool, man. That's cool. Right, so America, Ireland, and no, I wanted to voice them, and Japan. Your three locations. I like it though. I think a lot of people would say maybe Canada, then America, and then I don't know, Japan, Mexico, maybe.
One of them,
Um,
yeah. It's always, I mean, the big three are Japan, Mexico,
yeah.
and America. Those are the three that I'd expect
Try
everyone
getting into
would
like
want to.
Mexican. I think like 90s AAA, but I've watched some. It just a lot of
Yeah,
stuff is just like Botchamania. It's just like
I
so.
don't. I think it's a fact of like the stuff that they're doing is getting increasingly
Mm,
difficult for just humans to pull off.
yeah,
So that's where a lot of like the sort of botch mania
yeah.
like culture around that comes from. Um, like it's insane when you see it and it's like done perfectly, but
Hmm.
I think lucha wrestling, I take a lot of inspiration from it, and
Hmm.
I love a lot of like luchador wrestlers. But yeah, I'd never like to don a mask.
Nah, man, I've heard it's quite difficult. I can't. Who do I listen to? It might have been Kane actually. I know he's not a luchador, but you know what I mean. He's a wrestler with a mask. But
He's my favorite luchador. Okay,
mate, it's been a blast having you on.
yeah,
I feel like it's been a good conversation. I thought I'm going to be talking to you again in many, many years because 16 years old and fucking hell, training for 6 years and done so much already. And like I said at the beginning,
Thank
your
you.
future
Thank you.
is fucking so bright for you. So,
Thank you.
is there anything you want to say or anything you would like to plug? Or where can the listeners find you on social media as well?
My Instagram and Twitter are both at SENDPUD, obviously SENDPUD. You can find me this weekend at Wrestle Island's Cobra Island.
Cheap plug.
Should be a
I
banger.
like Wrestle
Should be
Islands.
a
I'm
banger of
a
a
big
show.
fan. Big fan.
Yeah. Well, it's great promotion. Obviously, I love it because they've sort of given me an opportunity to showcase myself. Yeah, that's those are all I can plug, really.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Mate, that's all you need
Yeah.
to say. Because when you get more followers, they can get upset with your wrestling career and your journey, which is literally like early fucking days. And I'm glad to have you on. Good, good conversation. I'm a fan of your brother as well, and so I think everyone up there and sort of based on that promotion in that area, you're all good lads. So it's been a good conversation. So thank you for coming on. For everyone that has listened to this episode, thank you. And I miss my hair already because sometimes it's like, nope, there's nothing there. But yeah, so if you can also follow me in my social media handles, description below, so I went blank then, that'd be awesome. So you can get up to what I'm going to be doing before the end of the year. You can do that right now. Like this video, subscribe to the account, and it's coming home. Just so you know, it's coming home. SENDPUD. But for now, everyone, take care. Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest.
Hi, I'm Scum, Christy Quinlan, 1/4 of the Violent Gentleman Society, and you're listening to What You Call It podcast.
I'm not scum. You heard.